Pleasant good day to everyone. Today we are going to be discussing the blessings of a generous life. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we just want to thank you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. And we ask you to help us to be good stewards. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. What does it mean to be generous? Psalms 24:1 says that the earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it. We think of ourselves as owners, and in our society that may be true. We own a home, we own a car, a pair of shoes, but in God's economy, everything belongs to Him. He's the owner, and we are the stewards. Now, generous living is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle where we are others focused. It is not one size fits all concept, and it is not limited to the wealthy, the gifted, or the beautiful, or even the lucky. Today, we will take some time to analyze how we view the things that God has blessed us with. Do you see them as gifts from God, or do you see them as accomplishments and possessions you've earned? When we pause to acknowledge God's blessings, it restores us to a state of spiritual peace. So first, we look at generosity with our time. Our time is a commodity we will never get back. What a remarkable investment we can make when we afford some of our time to influence others. Be a mentor. Think back to the things that have shaped you into who you are today, and allow God to use them to impact someone else. Be a servant. A servant willingly reaches out to people and offers help to make another's life easier. They aren't concerned with the awards and the spotlights. Servants merely want to serve others. Be a friend. When a friend is hurting, our presence in their lives bring a comfort to them that lets them know that we see them and that we have not forgotten about them. Choose to do something for someone every day. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times." Secondly, we'll look at generosity with our abilities. Generosity goes way beyond our bank accounts. In many seasons of our lives, we will not have financial means to contribute at all. But that should not stop us from sharing what we have, and that is our abilities. For instance, our skills and intelligence. Where do you excel? What are you good at? How amazing it would be to offer the abilities and intelligence in a certain area to assist another person. The skill we've learned, for instance, a handyman, plumber, electrician, or the skills we've studied, like accounting, or the medical field, that can often benefit people who may not have the funds to pay for it. Our gifts, these are qualities we possess from God's hands. We were born with these gifts. Some of us entered the world in a very good mood and have proven to be encouragers. Or perhaps God gave us the ability to organize, administer tasks and events. Our gifts were given to us to share with others. What about our talents? It could be singing, dancing, playing an instrument, competing in sports, or just making people laugh, or even a variety of other things. These are areas where we can show our generous spirit by sharing them to others for no compensation. Use your skills, gifts, talents to lighten someone else's load. You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you, says John Bunyan. Next, we look at generous with our possessions. One of the things that deceives us is thinking that the earth is our home. It is not. We were made for heaven. We all want to spend our eternity in heaven, but if we're honest, we don't really want to die to get there. So what do? We stockpile our experiences, our possessions, our money while we're in our temporary lodging, and we attempt to make it feel like home. Now, this is what prevents us from living a generous life. Jesus spoke of parables 39 times. 11 of them were about money and possessions, almost 1/3 of his parables. Clearly, Jesus knew this would always be an issue with us, and he knew we would be struggling with that. The pull of material possessions on our hearts is very, very strong. What about storage? It is said that 1 in 11 Americans pay over $90 per month in storage fees. We are storing more things than ever before, and the storage industry is booming. It's gone into the billions. Whether we have a storage unit or not, we may have possessions that we can share with those in need. The remedy for our battle with materialism is giving. We can declutter our homes. Those items that we think we might use or we might wear may be the answer to someone else's prayer. Not only will removing the clutter bring freedom, but we will have the chance to bless someone else with something that's merely taking up space in our lives or in our home. We probably have plenty of items that we can give away. For instance, used clothing and shoes, previously read books, kitchen supplies, electronics, used furniture, home decor, household appliances, food, or even a car. The world asks, what does a man own? And Christ asks, how does he use it? Wrote Andrew Murray. Now we'll look at generosity with our money. Even though we know that we will not leave the earth with money, we somehow tend to focus on accumulating it while we're on this earth. We acquire it in an attempt to feel more secure, to appear important, and to expand our list of possessions. As stewards, since God is the owner of everything and we are merely the steward of it, how kind of him to allow us to be steward of 90% of our income. And we use it the way we see fit. That's very kind of him. It doesn't matter how much we have. It matters what we do with what we're given. It's seeing everything we have as a gift from God. Only then can our mindset switch from this is mine to I'd love to share. Gratitude. We must recognize our own blessings so that we will notice the needs around us. When we see what we already have, we tend to walk in gratitude, knowing full well that what we have is more than enough. Then it allows our eyes to be opened, to loosen our grip on our finances so that we can, become conduit to do God's desires and funnel some of his provisions through us unto others. Obedience. There really is no limit to what God can do through our obedience to him. The more we give, the less money we have to hold on our hearts. We were meant to enjoy money and enjoy the things of life, not to love them. Instead, we are called to love people. And one of the best ways to help people is to help meet their financial needs. Now, stewardship, giving, and generosity are not synonyms. Stewardship is a role. Giving is an act, and generosity is an attitude, said David Briggs. Now, this quote really does not explain the relationship between stewardship, giving, and generosity. We are stewards who give with a generous spirit. When we do, our lives will be filled. It will be so full that we won't be able to contain the blessing. Being generous to get something out of it is never the point. We don't decide to give our money, time, and encouragement so that we can get something in return. However, one cannot ignore the blessings from God when we live our lives as a blessing to others. Ellen White says that there is that scattereth and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is met, but it tendeth to poverty. Mark this pool which receives the showers of heaven, but has no outlet. It is a blessing to no one, but in stagnant selfishness it poisons the air around. Now look at the stream flowing from the mountainside, refreshing the thirsty land through which it passes. What blessing it brings! One would think, this is giving so liberally. It would exhaust its resources, but not so. It is a part of God's great plan that the stream that gives shall never lack. And day by day and year by year it flows on its way, ever receiving and ever giving. This is taken from Signs of the Times, January 22, 1902. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that you've benefited from this presentation. May God help us all to be good stewards. Thank you.